Do you ever have to just start over and try again? Yeah, that's me right now. This was my studio, like a few days ago. And, the doom piles, the accumulated disregard, the disabled inability to care for yourself in your space. So I decided I would just start with something small, picking up paper off the floor. I sorted every piece of fabric. I went through all of my project stashes, all these different baskets that I have that like hold different project components and like try to keep things organized. I even like found things that I had been looking for. Does that happen to y'all when you clean? Hopefully I'm not the only one. So I sorted and I piled. I made new project baskets that organized all the things that I had been missing into like carefully labeled piles. This year has been really hard. I have been defunct lately. And so I wanted to demonstrate what it is like. What it is like to be a professional adult artist human who cannot maintain consistent level of care. That's just true. I got laid off. I have utterly failed to get any funding for any art project. I feel like a failure. Which is wild, I know. It's wild for me to be like, hello, I am a professional human who gets awards from the European Arts Commission and fellowships from the Ford Foundation, and I do exhibitions internationally. Like, I understand that person saying, I'm a failure, is an emotional truth that isn't reflected in reality. So, I have been trying to reframe my relationship to starting over. Especially recently because I got so many rejections. So many. I got multiple rejections from different grants on the same day. Like, everybody telling me no. And so I gotta start over. And over. And over and over and over. I just start over a lot. And that's okay. I can do it. If anything, I have starting over muscles. So, yeah, this is me. Yet again, trying to relearn a lesson I swear I would have learned by now. In writing, you're either a planner or a pantser, according to all the writing people. Which I'm trying to become, but more on that in another video. But I get these plans, and I'm like, I'm gonna make all these million things, and every single one of them is gonna happen on this deadline, and it's gonna be great, and I'm gonna accomplish everything. And I try, I really do. Like, I put a lot of work into writing grants this year, like months and months of work. And what happens when you do that, or I guess I should say, what happens when I do that, is that other things get neglected. Every accomplishment, every achievement comes at the neglect of something else. Every achievement comes at the neglect of something else. That's just the realities of the situations. If you think that CEOs are neglecting shit in their lives, you would be wrong. So I'm trying to learn to celebrate the accomplishments of my actions and not just the accomplishments of other people giving me money and jobs and fellowships and stuff. I'm I'm trying to learn to celebrate my own doing of things as an accomplishment. And so here I am celebrating the cleaning of the studio. Look how clean. Ooh, it's so nice. Do not, you likes it. Giving myself credit for vacuuming, giving myself credit for organizing, giving myself credit for maintaining my creative space. Good job, self. You're doing a good job. I'm not great at finishing things. Or at least, I'm not great at publishing things. I'm excellent at finishing things, actually. I finish all kinds of projects, but I don't publish them. I've been really struggling to go from thing I made to how that thing lives in and interacts with the world. Oh, the tie I made. That reminds me, tie break. Get yourself a tie from the thrift store for $3. It can be silk, but it does not have to be if you do not want it to be. And then tape it to a piece of paper / cardboard so that you can paint all over it. I decided I wanted my paint to be voluminous, so I mixed some fabric paint with some puffy paint and just kind of like poured all that nonsense all over there. Glooped it around, I would say. I would say it was a very gloop around base process. I love a good gloop, actually. Added more colors. I decided it needed to be thick. Like it really needed to like have some weight. So once I got the color sort of like mostly where I wanted it, I did swirly coverage. I'd never painted a tie before, so I figured really gotta get that paint into the fabrics. And then I figured, well, I'm using this metallic puffy paint. If I add white, that'll be cool highlights. And then I'll swoosh it into these brush strokes and it'll be awesome. I'm sort of carving the thick paint into this texture, these vertical line texture that I really wanted. And then it was done. Dried, and then the next day, I tried to be super careful when I was pulling the masking tape off just so I didn't eviscerate the little silk threads. But the gender euphoria / dopamine dressing involved in putting on a silly tie-dye you made for yourself, let me tell you, that's some good snacks right there. The last step of the studio makeover was all about light. My studio is in the basement, which I love because it stays very cool. I need a cold room, to be honest, because I got poorly functioning brain, so if I can keep it cold, excellent work. So I took what were like photography and studio lights essentially, and I just stuck them all over the room. So now I have a box light, 2 LED lamps, and the one I'm most excited about, which is my new lamp sculpture. Now, the sculpture itself is not new. I made this a few years ago, I think, at this point. Yet another project that I managed to finish, but not publish. We gotta work on that. How to publish the things you finished. There's a thing I need to know how to do. So here's me just like futzing around the studio. A few years ago, I made this spiky, blobby lamp sculpture out of an old lampshade and just like a bunch of paper. And I intended it for our bedroom. I'll show some pictures of what it looked like up there. It was green and glowing and beautiful, and I loved it. It was way too big. You can see me kind of like even just struggling to get it up here. It's probably still too big for where I'm putting it, because I will definitely hit my head on it if I stand up back there. But, you know, it's a sitting down area, so it's fine. So yeah, I decided I would put in this giant sculpture lampshade as part of my refresh and restart and get knocked down and try again. And I loved it. Like, look at this. Wow. It's such a weird shape, and all the layered paper with the layered, like, bits of old lampshade. So nice. So yeah. This is me starting again. In case you need a starting again buddy. Here I am. Hello. And this is my starting again studio. If you want to hang out with me in the studio. My new mission in this new year, and yes, I am Jewish, and yes, the new year was just now, so yes, I am doing a New Year's resolution for the new Jewish year. Shana Tova, friends. Is to publish. Not just finish, but publish. If you're new here, hi. Welcome. Nice to meet you. I've been on YouTube for 10 years doing wildly different things. Starting over and trying something new, I guess, is just kind of my vibe. So if you want to hang out, you can subscribe. It's like a thing you can do. Here's to the year of publishing.